What's going on, everybody? Welcome into Cash It. I'm Howard Bender. With me, of course, is Adam Ronis. And oh, baby, here we are. Baseball season is in full swing, and the NBA season winding down. NFL draft getting ready to creep up. There's all sorts of stuff happening right now. Oh yeah, the NHL season. That too. What's going on, Adam? How you doing? How's the start of your baseball season? How are your teams? How's everything going?
It's pretty good. I mean, the teams, it's so early. You know, some teams are good, some teams aren't, but we're not even a full week into the season yet. So really don't want to look at that too closely. Been fortunate to avoid some of the landmine pitching lines that we've seen so far. There's been a few that have been really, really bad. So I don't think I've had too many of those because I see people complaining that their ERAs are like 8 and 9. I don't believe I have an ERA that high. Maybe there is a league or two, and I'm just because I haven't really looked at it that closely. But yeah, it's been good so far, but a long, long way to go.
How long do you give it? Like you say, you weren't even paying attention on that. Like I've looked, and I mean, I got hosed by Chris Bassett nice and early, and it wasn't a good outing. I think he had like a 24.8 ERA after his first start. But that was like the only one that I really like zoned in on there. And like I'm like, whatever. It's April. There's plenty of time to go, and lots is going to balance it out. How long do you usually go before you start like really diving into what your team's stats look like?
There's no set date. I'll glance at it, but at the same time, I've been in position before where after a month or two, ERA and WHIP is high and was able to get it respectable. So you just don't want, obviously, that Chris Bassett blow up. You cannot afford now to have another one like that. Then you're really digging out of a hole, and you need a lot of good performances to get out of it. I don't have any Bassett this year. I have no Kyle Finnegan. He obviously had a terrible outing. Who was the other pitcher that had a really bad outing? I can't remember now.
I mean, like really bad, or just, I mean, listen, the owners of Corbin Burns right now, and you and I are recording this here on Wednesday afternoon. And it's the bottom of the sixth in the Mets Brewers game, and it's tied up 6-6. So Corbin Burns, who was coming into this game with a 7.2 ERA from his, opening start, which was, 5 innings of 4 earned runs. And now we're tacking on another 6. So yeah, using that early round draft pick on Corbin Burns is definitely putting you in a hole.
Yeah, I do not have any Corbin Burns this year. Yeah, he was not good against the Mets once again. So, I mean, it's only 2 starts, but that's not what you paid for. I mean, you could say the same about Max Scherzer, who was terrible in his start against Milwaukee too. And I think he's allowed 4 home runs already. So we've seen a lot of pitchers get off to pretty bad starts here. I mean, we saw the 4th and 5th starters, a ton of runs and a ton of home runs there, but you're not expecting that from your top guys like a Burns, like a Scherzer. We saw DeGrom really get hammered his first start out, but he's made up for it in his second start today as he went 6 innings, struck out 11, only 2 hits, 1 earned run, 2 walks. So, you expect those elite guys to bounce back unless there's an injury they're hiding or there's some change in velocity or something of that nature.
Yeah, I saw a tweet from Vlad Sedler, who, we both know and we're both friends with, and, he's over at FTN, talking about, because I did exactly what he did. Brian Anderson, Garrett Mitchell, like I pulled some of these guys out, knowing what they were going to be going up against, here early on in the season. And of course, everybody hit 2 home runs off of freaking Scherzer the other day. It was, I was like, wah, wah. Yeah. So listen, for me, I'm in the same boat. I don't worry about that stuff. What I'm looking at right now, like when I go to my league standings, I'm looking at just the at-bats column for my hitters, just making sure that everybody's getting the full complement of at-bats that I was, hoping for. We know that some managers like to rotate guys in and give some early rest to some guys, but I'm just kind of, that's where I'm at right now. I have not been.
Oh, you know where I'm at? Let me say this. you got to make sure. Do not let me fucking draft Eloy Jimenez next year. Okay. This
I
fucking guy. This fucking guy. I wake up today. I go to my website. Eloy Jimenez on the aisle. I'm like, when the fuck did he get hurt? When did he get hurt? This fucking guy. And I didn't really target him, but I took him in labor. It was the auction. I think I got him for $15. I'm like, oh, that's pretty cheap. I'll take him at $15. And he's out. And then I think I took him in the GST because he was falling at that point. And it was like, I don't know. I think it was like 6th round, 7th round. I'm like, oh, man, you know what? I'll take him here. This fucking guy, man.
I mean, I'm only laughing because it happened to me as well. I'm like, just as I was sitting there and I was like going through it and looking at some of the recent injuries before we jumped on here. And, and I have, Eloy.
It's amazing, man. It just doesn't fail, man. Fucking hamstring.
Right? How long before Byron Buxton goes on the IL?
Probably. Well, Jazz Chisholm got hurt today, sliding into second base. They're saying it's a stinger. And then O'Neal Cruz left the game after colliding with Devers. Mookie Betts got hurt. I saw it. I was like, he doubled. I'm like, he is not running well at all. And I was surprised he stayed in the game because he collided with Jason Hayward. They're saying it's an ankle issue. They're off on Thursday, so that's something to keep an eye on. But yeah, it's just a lot already. And then this whole Tyler O'Neill situation is bizarre. With his manager Marmol, apparently Marmol felt like he wasn't hustling or running full speed when Acuna threw him out at the plate on Tuesday night, and O'Neill's not in the lineup Wednesday. He was asked, well, will O'Neill be there Friday? He's like, well, that's not something I'm going to answer right now. And then O'Neill said it should have been handled not in the media. So, they have so much depth. And that sucks if you have O'Neill. So there's a lot of stuff going on. And then Sean Murphy of the Braves, man, this dude's played 3 games so far. Like, I don't get this. Okay, Travis d'Arnaud is a solid hitter. We know that. Then if that's the case, why did you trade for Sean Murphy and then pay him 6 years, $72 million? I don't get it.
I thought d'Arnaud was doing more DH work.
No, d'Arnaud has played every game. Murphy's played 3 of the 6. d'Arnaud's played every game.
I know that d'Arnaud's played every game. Let's see.
I get Murphy caught yesterday and today's a big game, fine. But Murphy's only played 3 out of 6. d'Arnaud's played 6 of 6. And d'Arnaud's hitting cleanup.
Yeah. d'Arnaud is today he's playing. Wait, who's behind the plate today?
d'Arnaud, because Murphy caught yesterday and DH is Ozuna.
Okay. So it's 3 games for catching and 3 games for DHing for d'Arnaud.
Yeah, and only 3 for Murphy out of 6. I mean, again, I know it's early and I agree that managers like to mix it up, but that is kind of alarming to me. Why did you go pay? And Murphy was hitting cleanup a lot in the spring, and now he's starting to move down the order. Like, I'm like, if Murphy's going to hit cleanup in this lineup, I mean, that's a real valuable spot with Acuna, Olsen, Riley ahead of him, even if he had 6th or 7th. But it's kind of ridiculous here. I don't like. Why did you go out and get Murphy then and pay him?
Yeah, I only think I have like 1 share of Murphy. I didn't really, because every time I was in a draft, he just kept getting, like, people were just jumping at him with the catchers. So yeah, I'm not. I don't know. I sit there and I watch like what managers are doing and and who they're using and not. What was it? There was something else I was looking at. I think it was something that, like I was like, why does Baldelli have Donovan Solano batting 3rd, in this lineup? It makes no sense, and just, again, you sit guys, you rest guys, whatever, but, trying to pull out some like weird shit going on for that. I don't really, I don't really have any, it's, knock wood. I don't really have any situations where I'm like that, like ticked off about, guys sitting or anything like that. I'm not all too concerned. I'm not.
Yeah, I am. I have Murphy. I have O'Neal. I see O'Neal did pinch it today. Made it out as the Cardinals lost to the Braves again.
Yeah, that's probably, that's, that could, to me, sounds like, first time manager. Well, Marmol took over halfway through last year. Or was
No,
Marble
I
not
think
even the manager last
he
year?
was the manager last year.
He was. Okay.
Mhm.
So I don't know. Maybe he's just, trying to set that tone nice and early because he does have a lot of young kids on that, there's Burleson, there's Jordan Walker, you just bring in Wilson Contreras, who's, taking over behind the plate for Yadier Molina. This is like, I guess, Marmel's, alpha dog situation where he's trying to make sure that, the guys do exactly what he wants and setting the tone for, the youngsters. I guess, maybe.
I guess we'll find out the next game if O'Neill's out there.
Aw, man, I don't want you to be angry at the start of baseball season. I'm having so much fun with baseball right now. Stolen bases are crazy up. I'm fucking hot as balls doing some best bets right now. I'm loving that. How's your MLB betting going?
It's pretty good. I've gone light so far, but I'll definitely be picking it up.
Yeah, I'm posting the best bets over at fantasyalarm.com. I'm picking three bets a day is really what I've been doing. And it's been nice. I think it's so funny as I say that, I'm sure that today's going to be the day that I end up shitting the bed. I'm trying to think of what were my picks for today. Oh, it was this is where I'll shit the bed. Brewers money line, Astros run line, over 8.5 for Pirates Red Sox, which I believe is 2-0 or something ridiculous like that. 4-1 in the bottom of the 8th. So
here's something,
Boston.
Here's something interesting too. Will Smith in to pitch the 7th inning. He got the first save opportunity for the Rangers, and I think people started spending money on him on Sunday. And he is now pitching the 7th inning.
Yeah, I mean, excuse me. Bruce Bochy is one of those guys. Like, I mean, he has no problem if he doesn't have somebody. I mean, with the Giants, I mean, he had Sergio Romo for a little bit, but I think that he's also a lot more familiar with Will Smith. I think he's just kind of more in the matchup sense. Like, Will Smith came in. It was Sunday night, and he got that save.
But the thing was, Leclerc hadn't pitched since Thursday, and he didn't pitch in that game at all.
Right. Yeah, but I think it was more about who was up in the 9th inning.
But I don't think it was like a potent part of the order, and I think it might have been one lefty. So I don't know. I mean, it's, again, some of these teams with the bullpens, like, you don't know. Because it was against the Phillies. It was Sunday Night Baseball, which, all these games now fly by. There was a hour and 57 minutes Sandy Alcantara game.
Oh, the other day it was Alcantara against who? It was such a good game.
The Twins.
Yeah. It was who was it? Pitched a great game. Can't remember. Lopez was today.
Yeah, Lopez Luzardo. That was a great duel. That game for Will Smith, it was Sosa, Stott, and then Derek Hall pinch hit for Pache. So it wasn't, I don't know. I don't know what. I guess maybe Leclerc gets the next shot. I did pick up Will Smith in a league for cheap because I think you had to have been paying attention to Sunday Night Baseball, and that game ended before some of the fab periods at 10. So people started putting in bids. I got him in labor for like $3, so it doesn't work out. I'll just cut him. But I don't think I didn't get him anywhere else.
Yeah, he was taken already. When I was doing my fab on Sunday night, the only person who could potentially sniff some saves that I invested in was Pierce Johnson. I think he got waxed the other day.
Yeah.
So, again, fucking chasing saves. It's the absolute worst, man. It is the absolute worst. I just, I can't bring myself, like, this year I didn't invest. Well, one league I had Diaz, and that fucking sucked, obviously. Another league I took Hader early, but mostly I kind of floated into that, David Bednar, Camila Doval, like that range of close. Daniel Bard, who Apparently, his anxiety got the better of him. Fucking, here you go. Jim Bowden says to me, he's like, yeah, this was a problem in the World Baseball Classic. I said he's going to have a lot of trouble if he's, whatever. I was like, where were you when I was fucking drafting, Jim? Where was that comment when I was picking up Daniel Bard? We talked about it on shows. You didn't say anything to me? The fuck?
Yeah, I was off of Bard because last year looked like a career year by far. Like a lot of the metrics were fortunate, and then you're asking him at his age to be a closer in Coors Field. So I was completely out on him. It sounds like maybe he'll be back soon, but yeah, I didn't put in any bids on Pierce Johnson.
Yeah,
I didn't want any part of that situation.
Wah, wah. But I did it, when I bid on Pierce Johnson, I did it like when you were bidding on Robertson. Remember, you were like 116 or something like that. Like I kept the Pierce Johnson bid as a sane bid. I still did, over 100, but I was like, there's no way I'm going to sit here and throw out that fucking, $300 bid that idiots are throwing out way too early on closers, on even potential closers. When we see all of this shit, it's all just, it's crazy, man. It really is. Really, really is.
Yep, there's no doubt about it, man. And I'm sure we're going to see more turnover. Arizona's in a situation now with McGuff giving up 2 home runs the other day.
Yep.
And then even, I guess the Dodgers too. We saw Gratterall pitch the 8th, and then in the 9th inning, it wasn't a safe situation on Tuesday. It became one, and then Evan Phillips came in to get the last 2 outs.
Oh man, what I really want to do is I just wanted to go play in leagues with saves and holds. Like enough for it. Like I think we're at the point right now where closers is such a crazy volatile position. Like I don't really see the harm. You can with going with saves and holds. I don't know if you're pro saves and holds, if you're against saves and holds. It just makes it I'd say a little bit easier to handle your relief pitching as opposed to always sitting there and having to like spend all this crazy money, for guys who are chasing saves.
The reason why I don't like it is I think then everyone's going to have the same strategy of, okay, well, I'm not going to draft closers anymore. And there's a lot of guys that get holds, so I'll just get them all late. So then, you know what I mean? At least as frustrating as this is, there is some strategy there where I feel if you put the holds and saves together, it eliminates the strategy. Because isn't everyone going to be like, all right, well, I don't need to pay for saves anymore. I'll just wait. And then all the guys are going to wait. And then everyone's going to have the same strategy.
Yeah. Well, I see that, but, for the same token also, I still think that your high end closers, maybe they just don't go in the fucking 3rd round of drafts. Won't. Maybe it devalues them to like the 5th or the 6th round where you can start grabbing,
I don't even think they'll go that high.
You don't think they'll even go that high?
Maybe 2, but nah, I don't think they would go that high anymore. I don't know. I don't play in league. If someone has a save holds league, let me know where the closers go. Because
I have a saves and holds league, and I think it was like Diaz and Hader went in like the 5th round, late 5th, early 6th round, I think is where they ended up going. Because that's the thing is that, holds can be a very arbitrary thing. Also, you got to make sure your team's got the lead, and then what bullpens do you invest in, and who's going to be coming in. Like to me, I don't think it's like just a clear cut no brainer of being like, fuck it, man. I won't invest in closers. I'll look for the middle relievers who come in, pitch the 6th, 7th, and 8th innings, and get those guys on the cheap. I don't necessarily know if you're going to get that kind of consistent production from them. At least from like, a Hader standpoint, even a Doval standpoint, that these guys are going to come in the 9th and protect that lead. So that's kind of that's my take on it. And I would much rather see high end closers go in like the 5th, 6th, and 7th round than to watch them go in like the 3rd round, then have to like put up with all the shit that we end up putting up with. And we put up with a lot of shit.
Yeah, I think there's so many guys that get holds that, people are just going to wait and get them late and pick them up off free agency. We know there's always guys that emerge in the 7th, 8th inning every year that come out of nowhere. They'll just be like, all right, I'll just go pick those guys up.
It's gonna be, it's an interesting thing to kind of track and to take a look at. I've got one league where I'm doing saves plus holds. The other leagues, it's all saves, and the leagues where it's all saves is just nothing but frustration upon frustration. So, take a look at that. How are you enjoying the mad crazy rush of stolen bases?
Yeah, it's insane. I mean, Gleyber Torres has 5 now. So he's running wild. The success rate is very high. So, I mean, I guess it's been good so far. And obviously the time of the games have really fallen far. What is it, about 25, 30 minutes trimmed off a game so far?
30. Well, just finishing the weekend, it was 31 minutes shorter on average per game.
Yeah, just crazy. The one thing I don't like, though, is, and they need to work on it, like Machado getting ejected. I mean,
yeah,
I guess he called the ump a douchebag is what apparently was said. So they're going to throw you out. But I don't want to see a game end on some stupid call, man. Could you imagine a playoff game? Like, they have to do something, and I don't know if this is possible, because you don't want to be like, all right, well, in the playoffs, 7th inning or later, we're going to be more liberal, but they have a whole season to get through it. But I don't want to see a playoff game or a big game end on a ball call or a strike call on a batter or a pitcher. I mean, that would be absolutely horrific. And I'm sure it's going to happen here in the next couple of weeks.
Yeah, listen, I'm sure it's going to happen in the next couple of weeks. I'm sure it's going to happen closer to, the playoffs. They have talked about it, in the sense of, there definitely needs to be some fine tuning. I mean, it's crazy. Jim was suggesting the possibility of, giving the pitcher another throw over to first base, increasing the pitch clock, or at least the mandate of, when you have to be looking, in the box and looking at the pitcher. I think there definitely needs to be tweaks, and I'm totally for it. I really am. I mean, listen, if this is what's going to keep people interested in baseball, then there's no reason to be like some stodgy old purist who's like,
do you really think it's going to bring in new fans? I don't know if this is going to do it. Like, so people can sit and watch 3-hour NFL games, but they're not going to watch 2.5-hour baseball games now.
Well, I mean, again, football, it drives the bus.
I get it. But I mean, football games are 3 hours. And when you look at the complete action, what is it? 14 minutes total action?
Yeah. Right. It's amazing. I don't know. I mean, maybe football Sunday, maybe just because it's weekly and it's not, weekly games. And, it's one day out of the week that everybody's watching all the football. On Sunday, yeah, you got the Monday game. Yeah, you got the Thursday game. But, overall, I think, you had to shorten it for baseball just because it's daily. And I mean, and they didn't shorten the season. Like, I know that was bandied around also. Do we play fewer games than 162? And, that didn't happen there. So, I mean, I get it. Listen, I people talk differently about football anyway. They will. You're right. They'll sit there and spend 3 hours watching a game that has 14 minutes of action
between two shit teams because they're fantasy and gambling allegiances on a Thursday night, watching fucking Titans Colts every year in a boring ass fucking game. But hey, I got Derrick Henry and I have the Colts in my pool. I mean, that's really a big part of it, which we know. But I just wonder, though, if this is going to bring in more fans. Like, are they going to say, well, I never watched baseball. It's 2.5 hours now. Yeah, I'll watch. I don't know. I don't know if that's going to do it. I understand why they made the changes and that they're hoping it brings in new fans, but I don't know if it will.
Yeah, I'm not 100% sure. I mean, it'd be very interesting to see, and we got to watch throughout the season. We got to see how they market it. Like, that's, you know, I mean, when they were trying to bring baseball back and it was the steroid era and it was, chicks dig the long ball and, we go from there. I mean, it's definitely something that we're going to have to, take a look at for baseball. They're going to have to figure out, ways to market it in order to kind of, bring everybody back. I mean, listen, there are a ton of young, exciting players out there now, and there's a lot more rookies. They've made it a lot more interesting to like bring rookies up and giving teams that incentive to do it, as opposed to, knowing that, these guys are going to sit in the minors until fucking Super 2 free agency. So, yeah, I'm not really sure how they do it. Like, what would, I mean, I don't know, put on your marketing hat for a second, Adam, and tell me how can they promote it to bring in new fans?
They're just going to have to say fast-paced, quicker games, more action, something like that, I guess. But even then, and here's the thing, too. So at these games, if they're shorter, I don't know what the rule is in every stadium. Don't you cut off beer sales after like the 7th inning? So aren't they going to make less money now?
Yeah, I'm sure that the concessions do take a little bit of a hit for sure.
Unless they'll extend the rule now. Like, yeah, we're going to sell beer the whole game since these games are 2 hours and a half. You can't get that drunk.
Yeah, right. The 8th and the 9th inning, they could go by just like that. So, yeah, I don't know, man. I don't know. And I haven't been to a game yet. Have you gone to a game yet?
I'm going Sunday to the Mets game.
Okay. Who are they playing?
The Marlins.
That's Marlins.
Yeah, the Mets played the Marlins 7 times in the first 10 games.
With maybe no Jazz Chisholm now.
Yeah, I guess we'll see. And the Marlins haven't announced the starter yet. I'm assuming it'll be Braxton Garrett with Cueto out. The Mets are throwing Carlos Carrasco, so that'll be fun.
Oh.
With his velocity.
So you're going to a 12-9 game then?
Probably, yeah. I guess I should have went Saturday for Senga.
Welcome to your 3.5-hour baseball game, Adam. Your seats are right this way, sir. Please step on over.
See, I don't mind staying at a baseball game. I like being outdoors. Citi Field's a great stadium, especially if the weather's nice. Now, this time of year, it's iffy. I played softball on Sunday. It was 36 degrees with like 25-mile-per-hour winds.
I saw your tweet about that.
It was not fun at all. And the worst part was, so usually you play a doubleheader against one team. We play a team, we win, and another team came and they said, yeah, you're going to play them next. Okay, come to find out, nope. We have to wait until that other team plays the team we just played and sit around for the next game when most of our team is old. It's the first game. We're all going to get tight. So I was like, damn, we're going to lose. But we actually smoked them 19-4. But I was like, really, of all the weeks that we have to sit around week one when it's – and what was crazy is between games, okay, the wind's dying down, the sun's out, not too bad. As soon as he took the field, the wind picked up again. So it was not fun. But, yeah, that's the thing. On the East Coast this time of year, man, like Tuesday was beautiful weather. It was in 72, 73. I don't know if you watched the Yankees, but it was cloudy and overcast.
Mm-hmm.
So it's tricky this time of year. I mean, it looks like Sunday's going to be 60 degrees and sunny. But yeah, I mean, you give me a nice 75-degree day, even in the summer, I don't mind staying at the ballpark for 3.5, 4 hours. If, I'm not in a rush to go somewhere. I like being out there and watching the game, and then I like watching these people who always leave in the 8th inning. I'm like, why do you, I understand some people don't live close to the ballpark, right? Especially if you talk in New York. There's people that come from Connecticut, Jersey. I understand that. But if it's like a 3-3 game in the 8th inning, why are you leaving? Like, then why you bother coming for? I never understood that. I just don't leave games early. It could be 12-2 and I'm probably not leaving early. So that's just me. But I love the people who leave early. It's like 3-3. It's a great game. Bottom of the 8th. Gotta go.
Yeah, gotta beat the traffic.
Yeah, man.
Gotta beat the traffic. I gotta get on that subway.
You're gonna hit traffic regardless if you drove. I mean,
yeah, it's funny that like you bring that up because for me, like concerts, it's the same thing. And I don't know if they're listening here or not, but I will out my sister-in-law. for ruining concerts for my niece and nephew as they were growing up, because it was really funny. So my wife and I, we brought my nephew out here to San Francisco. He was 16, and we brought him to the Outside Lands Music Festival. And we were like, yeah, whatever. His favorite band was playing. He was like super pumped about it. So we we made like this whole thing. And we're sitting there and like trying to situate ourselves, close enough for when his favorite band hits the stage and stuff like that. And he was like all hepped up and he was all like, oh, whatever. Can we move closer? Can we move closer? I'm like, yeah, dude, we'll go wherever you want to go. I'm a big dude, so, fat wise, not height wise, but I'm a big enough dude that I can like clear some space, and I know how to dance big if I want to make sure that we're comfortable or whatever. And then he kept like, can we move up a little more? I'm like, Ben, go where the fuck you want to go. Tell me where you want to be and let's do it. And just stop asking me over and over. He's like, I'm sorry. I'm just so used to my mom making us leave during the encore or during like the last song because she wants to beat the traffic and she doesn't want to be like in the crowd leaving the arena. I was like, I understand that now. Thank you for letting me know. I'm sorry that she ruins concerts for you all the time. I was like, what about baseball games? Your dad used to take you to baseball games, right? He's like, yeah, but when my mom was there, we always had to leave early to play to avoid the traffic. So I don't get it either. My wife is she's not like a beat the traffic person. Her like attention span in like the seventh and eighth inning kind of wanes a little bit. Me, I'll like sit there. I'll eat an edible and I'll go to a game and then I'll just sit and I'll keep score. I won't talk to anybody. I'll sit and I'll eat and I'll drink and I'll have a good time. And I'll keep score the whole way. And I don't give a shit how long the game goes. But yeah, man. Well, I mean, is that not part of where we're at in this world anyway? Like nobody's got an attention span.
Yeah, for sure. It just, again, I just don't know why you would leave a tight game. It's one thing if it's like 10-2. Okay, fine. You want to leave a little early, but it just doesn't make sense to me. Why would you go to a game? And I know some people might be like, well, there's some casual fans. Maybe it's a work event and they don't really care as much. There's way too many people leaving early for me to believe that. Like that eighth inning comes and you just see a bunch of people leaving. So I don't get it. It doesn't make sense to me. Like, why bother coming? So now they're going to leave in the eighth inning when the game is 2 hours old. You're going to spend more time in your car going to the game and going home than the actual game.
People, man, people. You know what? I hate them. I know you do too at times. You're not as much of a misanthrope as I am.
No. And then it's like going to the movie and it's like 2 hours and 15 minutes. And then at the 1:55 mark, you're like, all right, time to go.
Meanwhile, although most of the nerds are always like, I got to sit through the credits. There could be like a little sneaky trailer after the credits.
Yeah.
That's what, I don't know. Do you watch any of the Marvel Cinematic Universe movies?
No.
Yeah. See, that's like, it's like those little, they have you sit through all the credits. They do something like they'll do like a series of credits and then they'll do like a little piece of like a trailer or something, like a scene to kind of set up the next movie. And then you go through more credits, another like 2.5 minutes of credits. And it's just kind of winding down. And then you'll get like another little sneak preview trailer for another related movie to it. And that's how they've that's how they've worked it. So now it's like it's just trained me and, any other Marvel nerd out there. It's just trained me to I sit through every credit now. It doesn't matter what movie it is. I'm like, you guys sit through all the credits, man. You never know what's going to pop up at the end of it. You don't see enough movies for that. Why don't you see enough movies? Are you gonna see the movie Air?
I don't know if I'm gonna go to the movie theater for it, but I'll try and watch it somehow.
Oh, do you not like them going to the movies?
There's usually nothing great to go see.
I don't know how I feel about that.
Really? You go to the movies a lot?
Not a lot, but I'll happily go see a movie. There's some movies that you have to see on the big screen, I think. Anything from the Marvel Cinematic Universe, any Star Wars related movie. I know that they're doing like a new Indiana Jones. Like that's the kind of shit that I want to see on the big screen. Do I want to see some some fucking drama where everybody's like crying their eyes out and shit? No, I don't need to do that. I don't even need to go see romantic comedies on the big screen. Maybe it's just action adventure movies for me.
Okay. So when's the last time you went to the movie theater?
The last time I went to the movie theater, I think it was Top Gun 2. That's not bad. That's fairly recent.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't think I've seen anything else in the movie. And listen, my wife's been like, "Oh, I want to see this in the theaters. I want to see this in the theaters." And I'm like, I don't really give a shit about that. Like Air is not a movie that you have to see on the big screen. I just, if my wife's bitching about me that I don't take her anywhere, I'll take her to the movies.
That's what you do.
I'll take you to the movies. We'll go see a basketball movie.
Yeah,
you like Matt Damon and Ben Affleck.
This is where you could sit next to me and shut the fuck up for 2 hours.
Oh, dude, please. Anytime I can get her to shut the fuck up for 2 straight hours, dude, that's money in the bank. Well, I mean, listen, I'm dealing with so, for anybody listening out there, I'm dealing with a very stressful situation with my wife right now. She just had wrist surgery and she's just a fucking horrible patient. She's one of those people who the doctor will prescribe, an antibiotic for her and she won't take it properly. They'll give her fucking painkillers for something like this, and then she won't take them. And I'm like, why aren't you taking them? And she's like, well, because I'll save them. I'll stash them. I don't really need them. Well, you do need them because you're fucking bitching to me about how much it hurts right now. So take a fucking pain pill. Oh, I don't like the way they make me feel. Then go to fucking bed. Take a pain pill, go to sleep. Maybe that's the way to do it. She's a terrible patient. So that's kind of what I'm dealing with right now. It's a little frustrating. It's a lot frustrating.
Sounds like it.
Well, because she's not going to heal properly. If she's doing shit with her wrist that she shouldn't be doing right now. And listen, I'm like, why are you, picking this up with your bad hand? Why are you doing that? If I asked you for a hand job, you wouldn't give it to me with the bad wrist, would you? She's like, no. I was like, well, there you go. See? So why pick up other shit? I'm not asking you to do anything that's, gonna extend your recovery time. I'm trying to help you. I'm like, let me open up your bottle of water. Let me pour you that bowl of cereal and slice the banana into it. Let me do all that shit for you. And she's like, duh. I can do it myself. You can, but then I'm gonna have to listen to you complain about how much it hurts for the next 2 weeks because you're not healing properly. Relationship dynamics, Adam. Relationship dynamics.
Sounds fun. By the way, so Reynaldo Lopez comes into the game in the 7th inning.
Oh, look at you changing the subject already.
That's not good. He did issue a walk, but then got out of a bases loaded jam. And then David Robertson comes in the 8th inning, but it's a tie game, and they might be giving him 2 innings here. He did retire the side in order. So, yeah, great. Guys, we thought.
Closers, dude. Closers suck. Closers
They really do. Maybe, you know what? Next year, just start your draft for 2 closers.
First pick of the draft, right?
If you did that this year, that would not have worked out. It would have been Diaz Clase, so you would have been fucked already.
Yeah, Clase is not hurt.
No, I'm saying Diaz. If you took Diaz with your first pick, Clase in the second, you already lost one. Even though Clase did give up, I was watching that out and he gave up a 2-run bomb to Seth Brown the other night.
Well, yeah, that's annoying. But you know what? We're seeing some of these bottom feeders. Like Sunday, like how the fuck is Detroit won 2 out of 3, 2 games already off of Houston? Okay, Detroit's terrible.
They're not. I mean, they're not good, but Eduardo Rodriguez is not bad. Boyd is not bad, even though he wasn't great the other day. Torkelson, Homer, you got Riley Green. I mean, they're not great, but yeah, you don't expect them to be Houston. But it's early in the year. I mean, Oakland already has 2 wins. So pretty much, yeah, everyone in baseball has 2 wins except the Phillies and Nationals.
Well, that's baseball, Susan.
Yeah.
Fucking Bowden dropped that on me in a game and on a show. We were like sitting there. We were talking about, I think it was, what was it? Oh, yeah. It was, I think it was when Detroit beat Houston. Oh, no. It was Oakland. Oakland beat the Angels when Ohtani was pitching. And I think that was Sunday.
I think it was a 2-1 game, wasn't it?
Yeah. It was Danny Jimenez got the save in that one. But yeah, I was like, I was cruising through like, I was about to go. Was it Monday night that happened? Yeah. I went like 3-0 on Saturday, 3-0 on Sunday with my best bets. And then I went 2-1 the following day because that was when Ohtani, when Oakland beat them. And I was like, damn, man, I was all set for like, 9-0 in a 3-day span and, up a ton of, a bunch of units and feeling all good. And I don't know what the fuck happened. I was like, how the hell does Oakland do that? And legit, Bowden was like, well, that's baseball, Susan.
Yeah, he's a big fan of this podcast.
Who isn't a big fan of this podcast, dude?
I don't know.
There are lots of big fans of this podcast. Your burner account, Rudy Martinez.
I really don't know who that is.
Yes, you do. Come on.
I don't. I swear.
Really? Have you ever reached out to him?
No. Why would I? I don't care. I have no idea who's behind Adam Ronis' ponytail account either.
Oh, you don't?
Oh. Is it you? Nah, I don't think it's you.
Is it at Adam Ronis ponytail?
Something like that. Let me see. I don't think they posted in a while, but yeah, it's something like that.
Let's see. Adam Ronis ponytail. That I want to know. Oh, I don't see. Oh, I just typed that in wrong.
Oh, it's at Ronis ponytail.
At Ronis ponytail.
They have not tweeted since, I don't know. They retweeted a couple of things. Looks like December.
Oh, yeah. Look at that. The real fantasy sports expert and the source of Adam Ronis' fantasy power. Yeah, last retweet was December of 2022.
So yeah, I don't know who that is either.
Wow. I guess I'm just not as popular as you. I don't get these. Nobody makes parody accounts for me.
You want me to make one for you to make you feel better?
No, that's okay, man.
Okay.
It's okay.
I don't have time to fucking do multiple Twitter accounts, man.
Yeah, I don't have time to do listen, I'm supposed to like be posting shit on Facebook and Twitter and Instagram and TikTok. And I'm like, I don't have fucking time for all of that shit. Like, I mean, if I get to like, I don't know, if I get to a point where I don't have to like, work fucking 70-hour work weeks and shit, then maybe I have some time to like play around on social media. But I really, I don't have it. I don't have the time. I don't have the time or the energy. Ooh. I just saw a video of Jordan Walker's first career home run.
Yeah. He got it today against the Braves, but the Cardinals lost.
Yeah, that's okay. Congratulations to him, my friend. Did somebody get him the ball? Or is somebody gonna fucking try and heist it? What would you do? Let me ask you a question here. And I mean, listen, I guess we have to kind of phrase it in a couple of different ways. Let's say you go to the ballpark and you catch like a milestone, like, the 500th home run of Pete Alonso, right? And like that ends up with you. What would you just give it back because it's Pete Alonso and it's your team? Would you hold it for like ransom and try and get something out of it? Like where do you stand on that front?
I actually don't know what I would do until the time. I would definitely try and get something out of it, whether it's sell it on the open market or negotiate with the Mets to get like season tickets for life or some shit,
Uh-huh.
But I would probably want something back for it. It has value and you caught it, so why not get something for it?
Yeah, no. I mean, I get that. To me, I mean, just things that I've seen would be like, somebody gets it back to the player without like, kind of holding it hostage or whatever, and the team always gives him something anyway, or the player always gives him something anyway. I mean, that's what I've seen. I've never seen somebody like be like, oh yeah, here you go, here's your milestone, here's your first hit as a major leaguer, and not get like at least an autographed bat or something like that in return.
I didn't see the story, but I think the person who caught Yoshida's ball kept it, right? And they didn't want to give it back or something. I don't know the details, but I saw like something about that. Yeah. Okay. Here it is. The family who ended up with the first home run ball won't give it back.
Was that at Fenway Park?
Yes.
Yeah. There you go. Your Honor, the defense rests. Fucking Boston, man.
He turned down multiple offers by the Red Sox staffers in exchange for the ball. So,
like, what the fuck is he gonna do with it? I mean, show it off. Put it in a fucking shadow box and show it off to all your friends?
They didn't even catch it. A Pirates fan on the Green Monster caught the ball and gave it to the kid in the front row seats as a kind gesture. So they didn't even catch it. It was given to them by a Pirates fan.
Oh, my God. Oh, my God. All right. So, little kid baseball. Okay. That might make a little bit more sense.
Yeah, but
not
really. The family
has
some say on it.
What's that?
The family had some say on it. They probably said, yeah, don't give it back. I mean, I don't know how old the kid is, too. That's another factor.
Well, that's the thing. I mean, if the kid's like 6 years old, but still, you make a trade. Okay,
you get an autograph baseball from your favorite Red Sox and Yoshida and whoever else.
Exactly.
Wouldn't you want that more?
Exactly. What the parents think that, like, that Yoshida is going to be the next fucking Ichiro and that baseball is going to be worth $1 million and set the kid up for life. Come on, fucking Yoshida is not going to turn into Ichiro Suzuki and do that. I see that to me. There you go. That's greed.
He said, I hope that ball is coming back one day. That's what Yoshida said. So there you go.
That's trash, dude. That's just, it's disappointing. Now I have to hate Americans again. Spent my whole time.
You didn't before.
What? No, listen, no. I've focused all my anger on the UK. Like, fuck England. Fuck them in their asses. I you know what? Yeah. I'm sorry. If you're British, you're an asshole. I'm sorry. You're some uptight prude, pain in the ass douchebag. And listen, Adam knows why I'm feeling like that. And listen, British food sucks. British men are uptight. No wonder all of these British women are hoping to come to America and marry an American guy, because we're easily better in the bedroom than any Brit. Oh, excuse me. Do you mind if I touch you in the vagina right now? Like, that's, come on. What the fuck is that? There's no romance. There's no joie de vivre.
Oh, man.
Bender's in a mood. Come on, Adam, roll with me here. You know you want to.
I'm rolling with you, man.
Oh, shit. Oh my God. That's all I have to say about that. I really don't. I'm enjoying the baseball season. I'm enjoying the games right now. I like the stolen bases. I like the shorter games. I just, again, to me, you know what it was, man? Because baseball just shit all over itself over these last 4 years between COVID and the shortened season and ownership arguing with players and management arguing with players it was just this whole thing.
Ah, fuck.
Oh, my Brewers money line pick is winning. What do you got?
Yeah, Garrett Mitchell walk-off homer against Ottavino.
Garrett fucking Mitchell.
I do have Mitchell in the NFBC main event, but oh man.
So Mitchell and Joey Weimer both with home runs today, huh?
Yeah.
Ooh. Get me Sal Frelick in the fucking, in the outfield also. Put Yelich in the DH spot. Give me all rookies in that Brewers outfield.
Yeah, here comes the panic time now for the Mets. I mean, after 6 games, the season's over. This team sucks. You know it's coming. It's already started after yesterday.
Yeah. Well, you know what, man? I mean, see, that's the thing, though, I'm okay with that. I'm actually okay with that because when the Mets start off hot, it's one of the absolute worst thing. Met fans, shit on the Yankees as much as they possibly can. They're the best team. They're going to the World Series. Everything's great. Everything's coming up metropolitan right now. So you know what? Having a little bit of a humbling experience, I'm cool with that. I'm good with that. Yeah.
And
so there you go. My money line bet hits there. Now I need the Astros to maintain this lead against Detroit, and I'll go fucking 2-1 again. I'm happy to go 2-1. I'm up over 8 units for the season already for baseball. I'm pretty happy with that.
Nah, that's great. A great start.
It just sounds like I heard the jealousy there. I heard that jealousy. It's okay. It's all right. I know it's early for baseball, and yeah, definitely things will match up. What about how's NBA treating you?
Sunday is the last day of the regular season, and then the play-in tournament starts Tuesday.
How's shit lining up for you there? I mean, when you look at the potential matchups of where everything's kind of leaning, are you excited to bet the playoffs? Are you excited to see some of these matchups?
The West is still wide open. We're not going to know until the last day. Even the 1 seed's not locked up yet. Denver should get it, but they have a 2-game lead with 3 to play. Sacramento, I believe, is I don't know if they're locked into the 3, but they're not falling to the 4. And then 4 through 10 in the West is just insane. It could go in so many different ways. So right now, the first round would be Golden State Phoenix, which Golden State, I'm sure, doesn't want that. You don't want to face Phoenix in the first round. Clippers Lakers have a big game Wednesday night. Right now, the Clippers are the 6th and the Lakers are the 7th, even though they have the same record, but the Clippers have the season tiebreaker. So obviously, if you're 6, you avoid the play-in tournament. So yeah, the West matchups are just so unclear. We do know the Knicks and Cavs are facing each other in the first round. That is locked up. And yeah, to me, the East is just, I don't find the East interesting until the semis. I think top 4 all advance to the semis.
You think in both conferences, top 4 are going to advance to the semis?
No. Not in both. In the East. The West.
Oh, in the East. I'm sorry.
The West is wild. I think you could see 2 of the top 4 seeds in the West not make it far. So no one's going to bet Sacramento at all. They're going to look at them as a regular season team, no defense, especially if they play like Golden State. I think Golden State will be favored over Sacramento, with Sacramento getting home court, as bad as the Warriors are on the road, because Andrew Wiggins is coming back. He's missed 21 games due to personal reasons, which weren't revealed, but he's on his way back, and that's huge for them.
Okay.
And it looked like Embiid locked up the MVP on Tuesday night with a 52-point.
I was going to say a 52-point game, right?
Yeah, he went from minus 240 to minus 650. So I don't think there's anything that can be done the rest of the week for him to lose that.
Do they do MVP for each conference or just for the whole league?
Whole league.
All right, so Jokic not going to win it.
No.
Jokic, who was the favorite for the longest time right now.
Yeah, and then even last week, he was a slight favorite, like plus 105, plus 110, and he sat out 3 games with a calf injury. I don't know if that's what did it, because we all know when that showcase between Philly and Denver, Embiid didn't play, and Jokic did, and then that's when the odds shifted. So there was some speculation that, Philly is doing this because they don't want Embiid to lose MVP. I don't know, but look, Embiid, Giannis, and Jokic have all been great all year. You can make a case for any of them, but I do think there's people who don't want to vote Jokic 3 years in a row, and now they have the reason not to do it.
Okay. All right. How's your NBA betting been finishing up the final couple of weeks here? Is it tougher to bet at the tail end of the season for you?
It is, but you can get some value on players filling in. A lot of teams are sitting players, so you get these guys that are not well known, that you get pretty good numbers on their props. Like the lines, though, are absolutely crazy. We've had lines of 17, 18, 19 points recently. You had Sunday. Minnesota was like favored by 18 or 19. They lost to Portland straight up 107, 105. And then you had the Kings, massive favorites against the Spurs on Sunday. They lost 142, 134 in overtime. So, motivation is a big factor now, and some of these teams have nothing to play for. Like I mentioned, the Knicks on Wednesday night have nothing to play for. Jalen Brunson's out. Randall's hurt, so he's out. So then you look at guys like Emmanuel Quickley and Quentin Grimes for player props. The Wizards are basically set all their stars, so you could look to some of their players for player props. That's what you're kind of looking at this point. Because, there's teams that just kind of have nothing to play for at this point and either shut down their players, or the teams that are going to the postseason know their seed. They're just going to rest guys. But Sunday's a very interesting day because those games could have a significant impact for seeding. And it's funny, so basically most of the East is at 1 p.m. and then the West is at 3:30 p.m. There is one inter-conference battle, but it's pretty much that's how it's going to go. So everyone's playing at the same time, and that's going to determine who you face. So I want to see if these teams try to avoid Phoenix. So it's basically kind of the Clippers and Warriors trying to avoid Phoenix, and the Clippers play the Suns on Sunday to close out, and the Warriors play the Trailblazers, who basically have no one right now. So going to be pretty interesting to see what happens there. And then the Pelicans play the Timberwolves on Sunday at 3:30. That's a massive game because right now the Pelicans are the 8, Minnesota's the 9, and you want to try to get to the 8 because if you're in the 7-8 game, you win 1, you're in the playoffs. If you lose, you host the 9-10. If you're in the 9-10, you have to win 2 games to get in.
All right, so regular season ends Sunday. Play-in starts when?
Tuesday.
So by the time that we record next week, full-blown playoffs should start Thursday.
No. The play-in tournament, I think, is Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday. The playoffs will probably start that Saturday.
Oh, okay. All right, great. So then we'll be able to kind of, we'll be able to take a look at the seedings, maybe kind of, play around with what the odds are for potential futures.
Yeah.
Nice. Did we take any NBA bets in our sportsbook league?
Well, we took Jokic to win MVP, so that's
way to go, Adam.
You suggested it too.
Me?
You did.
Why would I suggest a basketball bet?
Oh, stop, bro. You did. You want me to get the DMs?
No.
Okay. That's what I thought.
Right.
But yeah, we
got the Bucks. Okay, so we got the Bucks to win the East, and then you made me take Jokic.
Yeah.
For MVP. All right. Thanks a lot.
Yeah.
Dude, how about the fact that we've got Matt Olson with over 34.5 home runs and most home runs at plus 1,900.
Yeah,
he
looks a shot.
He looks locked in, baby. I love him so much. I do. You don't love him like I love him.
No, I do.
Okay.
I mean, sucks that he's in the Braves, but I already know the Braves are better than the Mets. So I said it before the year, so it's not surprising to me.
No, you'll be okay. Oh, I just want to give you a hug right now. Not really, as my Yankees won 4-2 today. Yay!
Maybe the Mets are better off starting slow, and then maybe they'll actually finish strong for once. Or maybe this will force them to make some moves.
It's like they say at the poker table, Adam. It's better to be down early than down late.
I mean, Beatty should have made the team. I know he got hurt. They're saying it's only thumb soreness, but he should have been on the team. And he had a great spring, and Escobar's doing nothing. They need bats, man. That was my problem with the Mets. They have done nothing to fix this offense. I know they were great in the regular season. Doesn't matter. This is not an offense built for the postseason. This is not. It's the same thing. We saw them last year. So they didn't do anything to improve it. So you got to get Beatty up here.
Yeah, that's definitely a must for them. That'll, and then, grabbing, having a player like that, I mean, it can inject so much life into a team. It really can. That's why I like watching, like Corbin Carroll and Jordan Walker. And I love the fact that, that the Mariners, Julio Rodriguez last year, I dig that shit, man. I definitely do. And I do think that, it definitely helps with a lot of people, especially when you've got like a young budding superstar. No doubt. No doubt. Well, all right, Adam. All righty. I think that's going to do it for us. I got to get on out of here. I got to go check on the patient and make sure that she's not doing anything with her wrist that she shouldn't be doing. Really, I'm just trying to get a hand job before I
hope you get it. I hope you get it.
I will never listen. Who was it? Was it Louis C.K.? Yeah. All right. So here you go. You people want to cancel me for loving Louis C.K.? You can cancel me.
I'm a big fan.
C.K. He does this amazing bit about how disheartening a hand job from your wife is when you've been married to, for an extended period of time. And he does this whole thing. He's like, yeah, kids aren't home. We're my wife's cleaning up my daughter's bedroom. I go in there and just the whole bit about it. It's so unenthusiastic.
I think I remember that. Yeah.
It's a great bit.
Yeah. There you go.
All right. Okay.
Come yet?
Done yet?
How much longer?
Oh, jeez. I'm getting kind of tired. Let me switch hands here. All right. Right. Which my wife can't even do.
That's true. Yeah. It's like, all right, well, this hand's tired. We're done. Go finish on your own.
How's your jaw?
I mean, your mouth still works, right? You're talking.
Oh, you sure are complaining a lot right now. You sure you want to put your mouth to a different use? Oh my God. Now, why are you making me say these things, Adam?
You said it. I didn't make you do anything.
You're making me say. And by the way, for the record, unless we specifically privately tell Shannon to edit that out, she leaves it all in. She doesn't care. She's like, unless you guys specifically call me up and say, you really need to take this out. She's like, I'm not buying your bullshit. So she's like, I'm leaving it all in. So I might have to make a call later. No, not really. All right. That's going to do it for us here at the Cash It Podcast. As always, folks, we appreciate your time, your likes, your subscribing, all the energy that comes along with it. And Adam and I will be back next week. So for Adam Ronis, I'm not even going to give you an opportunity for any words of wisdom at the end of this, man. I'm just going to say for Adam Ronis, I'm Howard Bender. This has been the Cash It Podcast, and we'll catch you next time.